You're watching Nightline. I'm Anita. The top stories. Sultan of Perak's office lodges police report over edited video of Sultan Nazrin's speech. And internet prices to drop by September. We begin with our headlining story. The Sultan of Perak's office has lodged a police report over a viral video of Sultan Nazrin Muizzuddin Shah's speech, which had been edited and taken out of context. Orang Kaya Bendahara Sri Maharaja, retired General Tan Sri Muhammad Zaidi Zainuddin, who denounced the video, stressed that the ruler does not favour any political group and is far from openly supporting any of them. In a statement on Monday, Tan Sri Muhammad Zaidi said the act was not only unethical but also indirectly tarnished the Sultan's reputation as the ruler of the Perak state. He added the police report was lodged on Saturday in order to protect the good name of Sultan Nazrin from being dragged and tarnished by any party for political gain. According to Tan Sri Muhammad Zaidi, it was believed that there were parties who edited Sultan Nazrin's speech and uploaded it to influence voters to support PAS in the 6 state elections on August 12th. The edited video quoted only a short part of the ruler's 90-minute-long speech during Dewan Bahasa dan Pustaka's Ummah Talk on February 19, 2013, when he was acting Raja of Perak. The actual speech given by the Sultan explained the history of PAS and UMNO and had a reminder to both parties to seek understanding and cooperation despite their different political approaches. Meanwhile, police confirmed that 20 police reports have been lodged over the spread of the video of Sultan Nazrin's speech that was edited for political advantage. Perak Police Chief Datuk Sri Muhammad Yusri Hassan Basri said they began receiving the reports on Sunday after the video went viral recently, with the first report being lodged in Brickfields Police Station in Kuala Lumpur. He added that investigations regarding the case have been referred to Bukit Aman for further action. Prime Minister Datuk Sri Anwar Ibrahim wants the Malaysian Armed Forces MAF asset procurement system revamped to ensure outside parties can no longer rake in excessive commissions. He said the revamp must be done as the preparedness of national defence asset equipment, such as ships, aircraft and tanks, is not coordinated nor in line with economic growth and Malaysia's geopolitical and strategic position.
Ketua-ketua terus dipertanggungjawabkan. Pilih yang terbaik, kapal perang, pesawat, tank, kelengkapan dengan yang terbaik dan tidak lagi mengulangi kerana merompak melalui komisen yang keterlaluan sehingga kelengkapan kita ini kurang daripada keupayaan untuk menjadi medan pertahanan yang gigih. Mengapa saya pilih untuk menyebut perkara ini kepada
He also said in safeguarding the stability and security of the nation, the capability of the country's defence assets is a matter that should not be taken lightly. Datuk Sri Anwar, who is also Finance Minister, further said that he has approved an additional allocation of 200 million ringgit this year to upgrade the equipment and housing of the armed forces, as well as 40 million ringgit for police housing, including the Eastern Sabah Security Command, ESCOM Special Security Zone. On another matter, the Prime Minister has obtained an ex parte interim injunction against caretaker Kedah Menteri Besar Muhammad Sanusi Matno at the Alor High Court. The gag order was granted in relation to Datuk Sri Anwar's ongoing defamation suit against the past leader over his remarks which allegedly insinuated that the PKR president was immoral. Datuk Sri Anwar's counsel, Datuk Sankara Nair, on Monday confirmed that the interim injunction issued by Justice Mahasan Mat Taib in chambers on Sunday restrains Datuk Sri Sanusi, his staff and agents from uttering, repeating and publishing statements relating to Datuk Sri Anwar's lawsuit on any platform until after the trial or any further court order. He added that the judge also ordered Datuk Sri Sanusi to abide by the ex parte injunction order immediately, and he will be subjected to committal proceedings as well as liable to damages if he fails to do so. The lawyer also said his client applied for the injunction after Datuk Sri Sanusi obstinately and resolutely repeated similar defamatory utterances and statements in 2 ceramahs recently, despite being fully aware of the lawsuit. Datuk Sri Anwar filed the defamation suit against Datuk Sri Sanusi on December 13th last year over the latter's statement made during a 15th general election ceramah in Tambun, Perak last year. Datuk Sri Sanusi in his speech had allegedly claimed that Datuk Sri Anwar was a fraud, untrustworthy and unethical and had betrayed the people's mandate. The Health Ministry, MOH, will announce the standard operating procedures, SOPs, related to COVID-19 for the elections in the 6 states, including the Kuala Terengganu parliamentary by-election, in 2 or 3 days. Its Minister, Dr. Zaliha Mustafa, said the Ministry is holding a meeting with the Election Commission, EC, to discuss the SOPs for polling day, especially for those who are COVID-19 positive. Dr. Zaliha further said that for now, the election campaign can carry on in accordance with the existing guidelines. Prior to this, the MOH had said that the COVID-19 SOPs used during the 15th general election would be used for the 6 state polls, and discussion with the EC and the National Security Council, NSC, will be held if there is a need for the implementation of a new SOP. The polling date for Selangor, Negeri Sembilan, Kedah, Pulau Pinang, Kelantan and Terengganu, as well as the Kuala Terengganu by-election, will be held simultaneously on August 12th. A total of 3,190 regular polling centres with 17,048 polling streams and 260 early voting centres with 377 polling streams will be used in the state polls. Internet prices are expected to drop by September when the mandatory standard on access pricing or MSAP is adopted. Communications and Digital Minister Fahmi Fazil said the use of the mandatory standard would lead to a reduction in internet wholesale prices and cheaper packages.
InsyaAllah menjelang bulan 9, harga bagi internet akan jadi lebih murah. Kalau sebelum ni murah, insyaAllah lebih murah. Tapi itu tidak mencukupi. Saya lihat mutu perkhidmatan itu mesti dipertingkat.
He said this at the monthly assembly of his ministry on Monday. On July 11th, the Malaysian Communications and Multimedia Commission, MCMC, said a cut in retail prices for fixed broadband services based on MSAP could only be implemented after the access agreement was signed among service providers. At the moment, most access providers had published or are in the process of publishing the reference access offer.
Dia memulakan hidupnya di Bentong, sebab itu nama tu Bentong Kali.
Dia kalau dia marah, dia nak bunuh orang, dia bunuh saja. Dia tak kira apa.
Kalimutu ni seorang penjenayah. There's no doubt about it.
Menembak mati penjenayah di Kalimutu atau Bentong Kali.
Fail Mahkamah, Rabu 9 malam di TV3 dan stream secara HD di Tonton.
The bill on the establishment of an independent children's commission is expected to be tabled in Parliament in October. According to Minister in the Prime Minister's Department for Law and Institutional Reform, Datuk Sri Azalina Othman Said, this was important to protect the welfare and interests of the approximately 9.5 million children in the country.
Sebenarnya kertas kabinet tu dah sedia, kita akan bawa pada kabinet dalam masa terdekat, insya-Allah pada bulan ni ke awal bulan depan, dengan harapan kelulusan di segi dasar tu dan kewujudan rangka undang-undang tersebut dapatlah kita bawa pada sesi parlimen kali ini.
She said this to the media after visiting the Seremban Court complex on Monday. Datuk Sri Azalina added that the bill also aims to not only provide a comprehensive understanding to the Women, Family and Community Development Ministry, KPWKM, and non-governmental organisations, but also to assist the Sexual Crimes Against Children Court. Therefore, she said the Office of the Children's Commissioner, OCC, must be independent so that it can monitor and provide assistance to government agencies in establishing the best practices for children. The Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission, MACC, will call on more witnesses to assist its investigation into the theft of rare earth elements, or REE, in Kedah. Its Chief Commissioner, Tan Sri Azam Baki, said the probe was still ongoing and so far 4 people have been arrested.
Kita masih lagi memerlukan memanggil ramai lagi saksi untuk kita sasak lanjut berhubung dengan bukan saja isu wang di sini tetapi berhubung dengan isu-isu kepatuhan, pematuhan dalam kelulusan hari ini. SPRM ni bila kita siasat, kita bukan saja siasat berhubung dengan kriminaliti di bawah kesalahan rasuah, salah guna kuasa dan sebagainya. Tetapi menjadi tanggungjawab kami di bawah Seksyen 7 ialah untuk melihat kepada sistem dan prosedur yang ada sekiranya ada berlaku kelemahan dan sebagainya.
On July 20th, the MACC confirmed that it had recorded statements from 12 people in connection with alleged corruption over the REE theft in Sik Kedah. A day earlier, the graftbusters arrested a senior official of Kedah Menteri Besar Incorporated, MBI, and a female director of a company to facilitate investigations into the case. Meanwhile, Tan Sri Azam said MACC enforcement officers will be equipped with the body-worn camera system, or BWC, during operations conducted by the agency. The top graftbuster said the BWC will record audio and visual footage of every event and incident to ensure transparency and to hinder any malicious accusations against the MACC. This includes how suspects or witnesses are handled by MACC officers throughout the investigation process.
Kerana saya juga berhati dengan pandangan masyarakat, mereka melihat kepada pentingnya SPRM kelihatan tulus dalam menjalankan tugas. Ketulusan kita dalam menjalankan tugas ini amat penting kerana kita tidak mahu kita disyak wasangka dengan pelbagai-bagai kelemahan yang kadang-kadang kelemahan ini tidak betul.
Speaking at the launch of the BWC and MACC jacket in Putrajaya on Monday, Tan Sri Azam said a total of 142 cameras will be distributed to operational sectors at the headquarters and state offices in phases, and more will be procured in the future. He added that the BWC did not cost much to acquire, as the device was procured directly from the supplier at market price and no special system was used. The use of the cameras, which began as a pilot project in December last year, received positive feedback, and its implementation would also assist the MACC in providing necessary evidence should it be needed in court. Coming up right after this breather, Myanmar state of emergency extended for 6 months. Don't go away. Front. Thailand's Pier Thai party on Monday reaffirmed that elected representatives and appointed senators will support the formation of a new coalition government, but on the condition it does not include the Move Forward Party, MFP. Following this, Pier Thai Deputy Leader Phumtham Wichayachai said the issue should be decided at talks this week ahead of the expected joint sitting of the two chambers of the parliament on Friday. The party had previously confirmed in discussions with elected MPs of other parties and appointed senators that they would vote for a Prime Minister nominated by the Pier Thai party if MFP was excluded from the new government. According to sources, Pier Thai was likely to nominate Srettha Thavisin for Prime Minister at the upcoming vote in Parliament on Friday, and he was expected to get a majority vote of support right away. MFP won the May 14th general election with 151 House seats, but it let Pier Thai, the second largest party with 141 House seats, take the lead in forming the next government. This after its leader and sole candidate for Prime Minister, Peter Limjaroenrat, failed to win a majority vote from the joint parliament on July 13th. The death toll in a suicide bombing of a political rally by a religious group allied to Pakistan's government rose to 54 on Monday as police investigate the suspect and motive behind the attack. So far, no group has claimed responsibility for the bombing in Johor that also wounded nearly 200 other people. According to police, initial investigations suggested that the regional Daesh group affiliate could be behind the attack. However, Pakistani security analyst Mahmoud Shah pointed to breakaway Pakistan Taliban TTP factions as possible suspects. He added that some TTP members have been known to disobey their top leaderships to carry out attacks. Two bodies were pulled from Beijing's flooded waterways on Monday after the Chinese capital recorded its heaviest rainfall this year, forcing the evacuation of tens of thousands of people from high-risk areas in the region. According to local media, two people were discovered in waterways during an emergency patrol round in the early morning. Most of northern China were also put under red alert due to heavy rainfall, and the city government has issued the highest flood warning for the suburban Dashihhe River. The alert covers Beijing's 22 million people and Tianjin's 14 million, as well as parts of Hebei, Shanxi, Shandong and Henan provinces, with more than 31,000 people already being evacuated from high-risk areas, while another 20,000 were relocated from parts of the nearby city of Shijiazhuang. Deadly storm Doksuri has been sweeping northwards over China since Friday, with authorities warning millions of people to stay home. Myanmar's National Defence and Security Council on Monday agreed to extend the country's state of emergency by 6 months, likely delaying elections the junta had pledged to hold by August. In announcing the decision, Acting President Min Aung said the state of emergency, which was due to expire at the end of July, would be extended for another 6 months starting from August 1st. The announcement marks 4 consecutive 6-month extensions of emergency rule in Myanmar since the military seized power in a February 2021 coup. The latest extension of emergency rule would postpone the election, which it had vowed to hold by the end of the year, citing ongoing instability in the country. State of emergency was previously declared when the generals toppled Aung San Suu Kyi's government in February 2021. Coming up next, Fritz wins 6th career ATP Tour title. Sports when we return. Stay tuned. Back with sports news now. Tennis, the 2023 Atlanta Open. World number 9 Taylor Fritz shrugged off a second set wobble to claim the 6th title of his career with a victory over Alexander Vukic. Fritz, the US number 1, dug deep to overpower Australia's Vukic, ranked 82nd in the world, 7-5, 6-7, 6-4 in 2 hours and 16 minutes. Despite squandering 2 championship points in the second set, the 25-year-old held firm in the decider to take the victory. Fritz rose to 9th in the Pepperstone ATP Live Race to Turin as a result of his standout week in Atlanta. Still on tennis, the 2023 Croatia Open. Alexei Popyrin became the first Australian since Leighton Hewitt to win a clay court tournament on the ATP Tour after defeating Stanislas Wawrinka in the final. Popyrin defeated 16-time tour-level champion Wawrinka 6-7, 6-3, 6-4 after a gritty third-set showing on Croatian clay. Despite suffering a bout of cramps in humid conditions, Popyrin had to take risks at every chance to shorten the rallies, and his change of tactics proved successful as he forged a hard-earned 2-hour, 36-minute triumph. The win will see the 23-year-old rise to a new career high of 57 when the new world rankings are announced. Moving on to the 2023 Hamburg European Open now. Germany's Alexander Zverev swept past Serb Laslo Djere in straight sets for his first title in nearly 2 years at his hometown, boosting his hopes of qualifying for the season-ending ATP finals. Zverev proved too powerful for Djere, converting 3 of his 4 breakpoint chances to claim a 7-5, 6-3 victory in just under 2 hours. It also marked Zverev's 3rd victory in as many meetings with the Serb. The 4th seed also became the first German since Michael Stich in 1993 to win on the Hamburg clay.
7-5, 6-3.
Ketamine worth over 2 million ringgit seized. The details right after the short break. Stay tuned. Welcome back to the local front. In Johor, police seized 5 Lamborghinis and opened an investigation paper against 5 drivers of the supercars for allegedly driving dangerously and recklessly along the Senai Desaru Expressway in Kota Tinggi last Saturday. State Police Chief Datuk Kamarul Zaman Mamat said police have recorded the statements of the 5 drivers aged between 44 and 64 and have released them on police bail.
Di setiap jalan, di setiap kenderaan sekarang dah ada CCTV. Be careful lah. Be careful pada semua pesalah-pesalah jalan raya terutamanya yang nak melakukan apa-apa perkara yang tak elok. Kerana anda direkam. Dan rakaman tu akan di-highlight, di-viralkan. Akan menyebabkan anda akan diambil tindakan.
Datuk Kamarul said the case was being investigated under the Road Transport Act. Police also have issued summonses against Lamborghini drivers for various traffic offences. Previously, a 71-second video which went viral on social media showed the high-performance luxury cars overtaking other vehicles in a dangerous and intimidating manner, posing serious threat to the safety of other road users. Still in Johor, police have crippled a drug trafficking syndicate following the seizure of over 2.13 million ringgit worth of ketamine during a raid at a drug lab within a factory lot in Iskandar Putri. 4 men, including a foreigner, were also arrested in a subsequent raid in the same district during the special operation on Tuesday and Wednesday. State Police Chief Datuk Kamarul Zaman Mamat said, based on initial investigations, the syndicate had been using the rented factory as a front to process drugs and was believed to be active since April this year. The 4 suspects detained, aged between 28 and 44, were also believed to be knowledgeable on drug processing and managing the factory. In total, authorities seized 4.63 kilograms of ketamine and 166 litres of liquid ketamine, which are known as drug precursors in the production of heroin, cocaine and amphetamines. Apart from equipment and machines to process the drugs, police also seized 2 cars, a lorry, 2 watches and cash, all worth 321,700 ringgit. Police are also tracking down 3 other men, including the mastermind of the syndicate. The case is being investigated under the Dangerous Drugs Act. Over in Malacca, the Malaysian Maritime Enforcement Agency, MMEA, successfully foiled an attempt to smuggle shabu weighing 10 kilograms worth 400,000 ringgit to a neighbouring country off the coast of Pantai Kundo in Tanjung Kling, Malacca. State MMEA Director Maritime Captain Iskandar Ishak said during the 2:30 a.m. operation, a 38-year-old foreigner was arrested while trying to load the drug supplies onto a speedboat. However, his accomplices managed to escape.
Setiba di lokasi, bot suspek dikesan berada di pesisir pantai Kundur, Tanjung Keling. Menyedari kehadiran aset maritim Malaysia, suspek telah memucut laju melarikan diri dari pantai tersebut dan meninggalkan seorang lelaki disyaki rakan suspek.
Iskandar also said checks on the boat revealed a red bag containing compressed drug slabs believed to be shabu, wrapped in Chinese tea packaging. The drugs were believed to have been smuggled into Malaysia and were meant to be taken to a neighbouring country for distribution. Authorities also did not rule out that the syndicate was using Malaysia and Indonesia as transit points. The suspect who was arrested has been remanded for 14 days and the case is being investigated under the Dangerous Drugs Act and Immigration Act. Athlete Jan Rusa has completed the world's longest single-building slackline to cross one of Qatar's newest and most iconic architectural landmarks. As we wrap up Nightline this time around, we take a look as the Estonian and 3-time slackline world champion achieved the feat titled Sparkline. At the first attempt, walking the 150-meter plus distance between the iconic towers that are home to Raffles and the Fairmont Doha in Lusail City. With that, I'm Anita. Thank you for watching and be well, Malaysia.